Hey guys, what I got behind me here is a KIOTI CX2510 in a cab. Look at that little guy, that cab right there. We're gonna crawl over the outside, crawl out over the inside, and see what's going on with this thing. Alright, so this tractor is new for 2021. We just got our first one. Let's get a look at the stuff on the outside first, and we'll jump inside and see how much room there is, see if I can fit inside it. This bucket here is looks like about a 55-inch. Quick disconnects on it. That's handy. You can put forks on there or a grapple or something. Pretty good sized loader. You could lift around 1,200 pounds based on the specs I saw. This is not a gigantic tractor. This is a 25 horse tractor. So don't expect, to move mountains or anything, but it'll do actually pretty well based on what I've seen on the other CXs. Pretty big cab. The ROP size on this, the height's about a little shorter than we have on this 60 horse. From what I saw on the specs, the ROPs are just a tiny bit taller, or a tiny bit shorter. The ROPs are a tiny bit shorter than the cab is, but that's okay. This cab has AC and heat, which is kind of neat. It's got mirrors, nice little side step. This one has the R4 tires. That's the most popular tires we got out here. Rear windshield wiper. That's where you refill it. Fuel tanks on the back, which I like, rather than on the hood. Little toolbox. Here's 2 sets of rear hydraulics. So if you did want to run a grapple the cheap way, you could hook up hoses here, run them to the front, and run a grapple that way. Check your, see if you got any water in the fuel back here. That's your fuel filter. That's nice. Here's where we fill the hydraulics. That right there is where you check your hydraulic level. Pretty handy. Comes standard with a drawbar. That's nice. I see they got these little, looks like isolation pucks here. They got those all over this thing. That kind of reduces the vibration and harshness when you're running around in this thing. So good little setup. Even though this is a little, I guess called a subcompact 25 horse. See how they bend these arms? So these can come out without rubbing on the tires, and you can hook up pretty wide implements to these guys. So you can use standard implements instead of micro mini stuff. And then one thing I love is this guy right here. So if you're hooking up your implement on the back of the tractor, you can raise and lower your 3-point arms from the back of the tractor when it's running, of course. What else we got? Little antenna for the radio, couple lights in back. That's handy to have by default. Yeah, pretty nice looking overall. So this is not a gigantic tractor. This is nice if you've got really tight spaces. If you make money during the winter doing snow work in for small businesses in their driveways, cleaning up their driveways, doing a little grading work here and there. Tractor work for hire. It's nice to be inside that cab with heat and AC all day. If you got allergies, having a cab's a must. Otherwise you could feel real crummy after mowing a field. And there is some UV tint to this glass, so that's kind of nice. Okay, let's open this thing up. Before I forget too, we were looking at the filter back here, this filter right here for the fuel. Your other filter is pretty easy to get to. Your hydraulic and hydrostatic filters are back here. There's that one guy right there. Oil filters right here. You don't have to take this machine apart to change your oil filter, and your dipsticks right here. You don't even have to open the hood. That's really easy. That's your front fill for your front axle. Opening the hood, easy. Oops. Helps if you have 2 hands. There's a little thing you pull here. Then you grab the hood and lift it. It's got a little guy here that holds it open. Battery, radiators. I mean, everything's right there. Screen for the radiator. Looks like you'd have to lift the loader to pull that out. Yeah, whatever, no big deal. Coolant, air filter. Everything on this tractor is really easy to get to for doing maintenance. So, okay, now we can go inside. All right, what do we got here? So here's our shifter, high gear, low gear. For the most part, you'd be working in low gear if you're working, high gear if you're transporting. Like this, by default, you have a mid PTO. You don't have to pay for that. And of course, you have your rear. You can put both of them in neutral so you don't accidentally engage them. I think that's kind of nice. This selects where the audio from your speakers are coming from. Got what, 4 speakers? Maybe only 2. Okay, 2 speakers, good enough. So you got a little port here with an auxiliary plug-in or powered USB. Sometimes you'll have this USB that's not powered, it just does data transfer. So this is powered, so it will recharge your phone. And 12 volt for old style rechargers. Seats got armrests, raise and lower, that's good because I don't use armrests. Rear window, vents, all the way up. Holy smokes. I can't even reach it from back here. Hold on. Let's close that guy. Yeah, I could forget that I opened that back into something. Thanks, boss, or sorry, boss. Lots of vents here for air from the outside or air from the inside. I don't know if it's too dark in here to see. Here's your controls for your HVAC. That's a knockout for the radio. This guy, this is a sunshade. I tell you what, this is, I guess it looks flimsier than it is. I'm not in love with these, to be super honest with you. I wish it was a little tougher. I feel like these are going to rip out someday. That's a small complaint from these KIOTI cabs. This is a clutch, so you push down the clutch and then push forward the PTO you want to engage, and that allows it to engage. There's your 4-wheel drive selector. Right now it's in 2-wheel, and that's your rear locker. And this is an air suspension seat, so you can spin this guy to increase the resistance against your posterior, so you're not sinking that seat down automatically. Horn, tilt steering wheel, gauge cluster, turn signals, headlights. What else you got over here? I'm gonna climb in a little ways. There's your throttle. There's your park and brake, your brake, forward and reverse. I love that this doesn't have one of those banana pedals. I like the side-by-side pedals. There's your loader control, which is really nice. It's right on your hip. So I guess I do kind of like this armrest here because now I can rest my arm and use the loader. So that is kind of nice. And then I don't hit this control, which is the hydraulics on the rear. That's the height of your 3-point. This is nice. It's not hold and then let go where it's when it's at the height you want. It's set your position and let go. So that's nice. Lights, front windshield, rear windshield, defrost, cup holder. Oh, with 2 size cups. You got little baby cup and regular man size cup or woman size cup. That's fine. Women can use big cups too. Yeah, so that's pretty nice. View from the cab. Boy, lots of glass here. I mean, even down to where you can look at your front axles. Looking down at the ground, tons of view. The glass behind me is huge. We already saw that, but they've also got a little peekaboo glass here behind the seat so you can see the top of your implement. So that's really nice. Close the door here, and I'm not a small person, but I've got a lot of headroom here. I think I'm about 6 feet tall. The seat is all the way compressed, so if it wasn't, I'd be sitting up a little higher. But I've still got headroom here, so I'm not going to be bumping around and knocking my head in this thing. They did a really good job on this cab. It's pretty quiet in here. I'm not hearing the road noise outside. Maybe I'll find the keys and start it up. I got a key here somewhere. But yeah, it seems to be pretty well insulated. I have driven this thing around. It's not the quietest cab I've ever been in, but this thing also doesn't cost 60 grand, so get over it. Okay, let's start her up. Okie dokie. So we'll click it over, one click to the right, Does a little glow plugs for a second there. Diagnosis is over. Foot on the clutch, foot on the brake, and start. Nice and easy. All right, I've already warmed this one up today, so we're going to go right up top to 540. All right, that's operating range. So this isn't the quietest cab I've ever been in. I can't just have a normal conversation without raising my voice a little bit, but it's pretty quiet. Not a lot of sound transfer through that glass, and there is a lot of glass in here. I mean, I can see basically everything around me, except obviously not right above me. What are you gonna do? But I mean, this isn't a $60,000 machine. You can tell they did put some stuff in here to try to deaden the sound. There's a lot of foam and stuff in between the glass and the metal. And we saw those pucks, so sound deadening pucks or vibration deadeners. So they put some thought into it. And man, I've got tons of headroom here too. I don't know if you can see that. But even if I bump up and down in the seat, I'm not going to hit my head. And I'm about 6 foot tall, so that's pretty good. It's nice in here. We turn the vents up all the way. Got the AC on, instantly blowing cold. Wow, that was real cold real fast. Turn on the heat part. Let's see, well, there we go. Yeah, I can feel the fans on my face, on the seat. So they work great. They're not super loud. Yeah, you can't hear them over idle. So that's pretty quiet. Yeah, let's raise the loader, see what the view is. We'll turn that down. We're going to run our RPMs up so we get decent hydraulic flow so we can actually use this loader as it's intended. You can't see the tip of the bucket from here, but whatever. All the way up in the air, here we go. And it goes high enough that I can't see it without kind of leaning forward. All right, so right there, we're at level. That's over 6 feet in the air. And then dump. That's a little under 6 feet at the edge. So you get over the side of a truck, no problem. And then can we do two functions at once? Yeah, yes, yeah, we can. Okay. So lift and dump at the same time. Let's see. Yep, lift and dump. And down while we're curling. Yep, down and curl at the same time. Cool. So subcompact tractor does two functions at once with the loader. Sounds good, not too loud inside. It's a great little machine. Yeah, if you got small spaces to work in, small jobs to do, you have a budget. A lot of us have a budget. This is a great little tractor. So yeah, if you're in our area, I'm out here at Town and Country Tractors. You can kind of see the sign. Here in Monroe, Washington, be happy to have you. Otherwise, find your local KIOTI dealer. Go check out one of these CX2510 cabs. Excuse me. A lot of value here for the money. Great little machine. Tons of leg room. My camera works exquisite because I'm using my phone. But believe me, there's a lot of leg room. So yep, go check it out. Give it a drive. Try it out. See what you think. All right, guys. See you later.